This is Where to Put Commas and Semicolons, Part 3. If you missed Part 1 and Part 2, feel free to go look at them. You'll find them on my channel. First, let's start with a warm-up. So, tenacious is holding fast, characterized by keeping a firm hold. So the examples are tenacious grip on my arm, tenacious of old habits. Highly tenacious memory is really nice too. Pertinacious, persistent, stubborn, obstinate, those are all similar words. We have two sentences here at the top. One of those two first sentences is going to contain a comma. The other one's not. What do you think it is? You could see that they're the same sentence, right? But switched around. They had toothpaste in ancient Egypt. In ancient Egypt, they had toothpaste. The last sentence, Egypt's ancient toothpaste was effective, but it was also very strong, will get a comma. I'll explain why in a minute. But which of those first two do you think will get a comma? It's going to be the second. But why? So, they had toothpaste is going to be considered an independent clause. What does that mean? Clauses are different parts of a sentence. Right here we have an independent in red and a dependent in purple. They had toothpaste could be its own thing. It's an independent clause, right? It has a subject noun, they. Had is a verb. Toothpaste is an object. It could be a complete sentence. In ancient Egypt is just where it happened, so it's not considered a sentence. When the independent clause comes first, you will not get a comma. When you switch them around like that, in ancient Egypt, comma, they had toothpaste. You're going to get a comma after the dependent clause, if the dependent clause comes before the independent clause, as in the second example there. The bottom one's a little different. They're both independent clauses. The whole thing's in red except for that but. And we'll get into that in a minute. Here on the right, we have a list of independent clauses. You needed mint leaf. Their teeth would be fresh. They included black pepper. These could all be sentences. Ancient Egyptians included rock salt in their toothpaste. So when you're combining both of these, you're going to have comma but. There are other words you can have instead of but, and we will get into that in a minute. Here we have dependent clauses. If you wanted a good smile, comma, you needed mint leaf. If you wanted a good smile cannot be a complete sentence because it has that if here. So it depends on the independent clause to tell you what happens if you wanted a good smile. You can't just have dependent clauses. You can't just have the purple. You need at least one red. And you're going to have a comma after each one of these if it's not the end of the sentence. They had toothpaste. It was strong. How do you think you'll combine these? It's going to be comma, coordinating conjunction, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. If you look at the first letter of each of these words, it's going to spell out fanboys. We used but in the example, but you can use any of these. This is a chart I made that has all four of the basic ones, so dependent, comma, independent. Nothing here, right? You're going to have a semicolon between two independent clauses, and we're going to go over that soon. And then between two independent clauses, you could alternatively have what? Comma, fanboys. Yes. Here are two ways to connect independent clauses. You're going to have a semicolon here, no coordinated conjunction, no fanboys. Here you will. A lot of the time it's up to taste. If you're taking the SAT or something like that, the difference between these two will be that you're going to prefer to use the semicolon if these two sentences, or clauses rather, are very close in meaning. Egypt's ancient toothpaste was effective. It was also very strong. We're both talking about the ancient toothpaste in Egypt, so it's going to be the same thing. So you're going to use a semicolon instead. Finally, here's something that you can do at home based on this video and the videos before. If you haven't checked out the other two, go look at them because there's going to be listing in here. If you're already familiar with listing, then just go for it. In my next video, I'm going to break this down and put all the commas where they belong so you could see how I would edit this. In the meantime, if you want to pause it, take a look and see where you think the commas belong, go ahead and do that. For now, though, thanks for watching. See you next time.